Welcome back to the channel, folks. My name is Joel Duggan. We are on the Citadel server, and we are back in the medieval town of Westhill, working on some riverside builds, continuing where we left off. And I think today we may have to tackle the roof. And I'm still on the fence. I think I want to try. I think I want to try the middle one just to kind of see if we can get that to look right. We'll get up a little bit higher so everyone can have a closer look. Big thanks to MindTripMedia for the subscription. That's 9 months. That's the Fire Keystone badge. Really appreciate the support. So what I'm thinking is we have like a light to dark kind of gradient. And I do kind of like the highlight of having the bees nests on the top. That means, however, we're going to need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, let's just say 2 dozen, just for the sake of having some extra 2 dozen bees nests. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to get those. I think people were saying in chat that I should try using birch trees the last time to try and grow them. And we've got the bone meal, like we can totally do it. So we'll see what we can come up with. And so that'll be task number 1. And then I think everything else is stuff that I have. It's a fun way to kind of blend the jungle wood into the other blocks, because that's packed mud, that's concrete powder, and that's wool. And so I'm sort of trying to gradually get a gradient going. Yeah, okay. So mission 1 will be getting some bees nests. I don't think we left anything too unfinished in here last time. We kind of did a pass. Nothing is like decorated with little trinkets, but we've got, oh, we still got the bedroom to do and this bedroom to do, right? I don't know if I like the red bed. Any thoughts for a different kind of bed? Pink, Dan, you're getting too fast with that. Oh, that's funny. What is this? Oh, that's the outside. Okay. We could have another window here, you know? And of course the attic, but I need to do the roof before I do the attic. And we don't have this bedroom, or we don't have this roof. I think that's why I wanted to do the outside roof. So let's do the bee's nest first. That seems like a nice, easy way to rev up the stream. Morgantic, I was thinking brown, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying. I was hoping. I was talking to Meza and a couple people in between streams, and I was hoping to be able to stream with shaders today. So I switched over to Starlight, which is a different way to render the lighting engine in Minecraft. Absolutely no difference. No difference whatsoever. So I'm not sure what all the hype is about, but did nothing for me. We only have 11 or 10 saplings. And we'll have to go get some flowers and bone meal. Yeah, like when I switch to shaders, my frame rate drops to 30 to 40, and I get some serious screen tearing. Like I can't play like this. It's like a strobe. It's rough. It's fine without shaders, but I mean, like I get 75 frames per second without shaders. Normally with phosphor. Do you use phosphor as a complement to a sodium lithium render? Usually, yes. Yeah, normally it's phosphor, sodium, lithium. Those are the 3 I normally use. Starlight is supposed to replace phosphor, and it's said on the website that even though the server is running phosphor and lithium, that I still should be able to use Starlight to connect, which I was able to connect, no problem. But flowers. Guess we'll just use those. Bring a few extra just in case. I think the easiest place to do this is going to be out front. And I think what I'm going to try is planting everything. I was going to try in a row, but maybe we'll space it out a little bit because we do need saplings. First time in chat, Popcorn. Popcorn? Popcorn? How do I say that? Popcorn. It's a raid. Ashu Smites coming in with a raid. Thanks very much. Welcome in. Pop is fine. Cool. I was going to ask if that was okay. There's a nasty animation render glitch in Sodium in 1.19.3. See, that's why we haven't updated to 1.19.3 yet. It's because I'm still waiting for all the mods to work out their kinks. Yeah, I've got a couple of different shaders. I tried, even with my enhanced default shaders, which are really, really basic. Like, they don't really do much. It's basically like vanilla Minecraft, but with shadows. But even that, like the frame rate, like I'm not sure if you can see that on Twitch, but like it's when I scroll back and forth like this, I see basically like a shake. It goes like that, and it's like you can't play. You can't play like that. I would love to play with shaders like this, right? And this is smoother, like it's smoother than the default ones. So I don't know. I find shaders so complicated and so unnecessarily complicated that the only thing I ever use them for is screenshots. We're going to old school farming here. And no bees. So we've got a 5% chance, which means like 1 in 20 trees, maybe. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with all this birch. Don't know anybody on the server that likes birch this much. Yeah, I think it's 1 in 20. That's I'm going by what chat told me. So if you were the one in chat that said 1 in 20 last time, I'm just quoting you. Somebody looked it up on the wiki, I think. Gonna make sure we get all of our saplings back before I start cutting stuff down. Oh, I forgot to get my hoe. That's fine. We need to wait for this stuff to despawn anyway. We also need more food. Do I want Silk Touch or do I want to... Maybe I want... I don't know if I need birch leaves. Maybe I want to actually bust them down so that we get the saplings faster. Yeah. I don't know that I need birch leaves. Mending Fortune Unbreaking. Sure. And a barrel. And go. You thought it was 0.5%? I don't know that they would do. I mean, that would be really hard. We did get like 1 or 2 last time, so it's not completely impossible. I do like that we get sticks now from leaves. Does it matter if they have more flowers? I don't remember. I do like this fancier flower pack that we have. It's a really good way to showcase it, actually. It just adds just enough random... And there's only 2 different kinds, right? There's either the single or the group. But they're just random, and it adds so much more life to everything that's going on. Oh, we got one. Is it Silk Touch Pick? That was 1 in 20. That's okay. We're going to be here a while. I'm not sure what to do with all this wood. We don't really use birch that much. Maybe I should keep it for like when I do like a desert build or something, because birch usually looks really good in deserts. Looks kind of dried out. It was funny. I was decorating my Christmas tree last night, and I had the cozy hearth playing on the television while I was doing it, and I think my favorite one of those is anything kind of birch log, because they crackle really nicely. That's a lot of leaves. We're definitely getting our saplings back, that's for sure. Eight shulker boxes worth of oak trees. We're doing the tree grind. Maybe what we can do now is just... Now that I've got a fortune hoe, just line these up. The hard part, of course, is all the bone meal. I mean, we have unlimited bone meal. It's not the end of the world. No bees. Feel like maybe putting them all together is a bad idea because there's not enough room for the bees. That could be it too. I think my favorite way to get wood is using the spruce tree. method. I really cannot wait until we can have bamboo be a source of chests, because that means like chests for hoppers, any kind of chest situation. We can't make barrels out of well, I guess we could, as long as, yeah, because you can make barrels out of bamboo as long as you've got slabs and planks. Eight shulker boxes of deep slate. Wow, that's rough. I know it's really disorienting, but it's the easiest way to get rid of stuff above you. No, this is probably going to be something that we do and come back to. And now, oh, we got 2 that time. Now I guess what we have to do is go get a campfire. Is there any way to tell if it's got bees in it? Because I picked that up before any bees came out of it. I'm assuming the bees will be fine if they just hover there. I think I have to make a campfire. Yep. Coal. That's one way to use up some logs. So unfortunately, these still have bees in them. I don't know exactly what to do. I guess we could put bee hives out, maybe? And then once they leave, once all 3 of them pop out, then we could move them into the hives. That might be the easiest thing to do. How do I make more hives? Honeycomb. Right. get 6. Now, hopefully, they will go back to the hives. I don't know what the distance is. No, why? You're not the smartest bee, are you? I guess it was next to the flower. Could have brought a bed. All of the data pack stuff on this side of the town is broken. Not fun. More work to do. Can't stack those. That's annoying. I'm going to put this down over here. I should have brought another one. Arctic Night, hello. Hope you're having a good day. No luck on those ones. I think I needed 12 to start. Be a safe number. You know, it really doesn't take that long. You know, if you're people that make tree farms and stuff, I understand those are for giant quantities of logs, but if you need like 4 stacks of wood, if you've got bone meal, then this is all you need to do. It really doesn't take that long, especially when you're planting multiple trees. Spruce especially, but oak is a little trickier because you got to cap it so it doesn't turn into the giant ones that are a pain in the butt to chop down. And I would say if you were doing chests, like spruce is the highest yield, but I think that birch is actually next in line because of how easy it is to cut down. Spruce, jungle, and dark oak are really easy together. Is jungle easy together? I guess you can treat jungle the same way that you do spruce. Is there anything we can do to force these to be taller trees? Give us a higher chance of bees nests. This would be a really tedious thing to try and do in Skyblock. Where is my campfire quickly? Oh, it's close. Get rid of the flames. Yeah, like I can't tell. None of these stack with one another. So they all have different levels of B in them, I guess? I don't know. They really didn't do a great job of communicating that to the player. Oh, is there another one somewhere? Did I get two this time around? Maybe he just went into the hive. They make the same noise. What I should maybe do is put the flowers over by the hives. So these are closer. Oh, there's flowers over there too. Yeah, I'm sure Pix would know. I'm having a lot of fun watching Pix play on the Hermitcraft server during the whole crossover. I think we were talking last week on stream about like RP and stuff like that, and I'm more inclined to watch the stuff happening on the Hermitcraft server with the crossover because I'm not a big RP person, and so it'll be fun to kind of catch up with more regular interactions, I guess. Personality driven rather than story and RP driven. No dice on this one either. So I don't think it's necessarily 1 in 20. I think it might be 1 in 40. On average. I guess that's not true because we've been getting 2 at a time. Whenever we've got like a positive bee nest, there's been 2 of them. I never thought to just like try to keep count of how many trees I've been planting. I feel like this is maybe the 4th time that I've run through all of this. I know it's coming up on 2 Minecraft days, but Hermitcraft feels less intense to me, whereas Empires goes hard into the lore and the roleplay. Yeah, oh yeah, I think that's an accurate description. I don't know whether intense would be the right word, but it's Empires is more involved. It's more, I don't want to say scripted because I feel like they improv a lot, but like, I'm trying to think about what would be a good way to describe it. Hey, there's one campfire. Did I get it? Yes. Well, we have enough to test it anyway. I don't want to do this all stream. So I think I'll take these down. And then I guess what I'll try to do is I'll put the bees' nests down and see if we can't get the bees out of them. So what we'll try to do is I've got 5 bees' nests and 6 hives. I need to go get some glass bottles for that honey. Yeah, certain I guess the RP depth on Empires has got like a different level to it. Like there's Pix and Gem, and I'm trying to think about there's somebody else. Who's the other lore person? Is it Joel that does the lore stuff with Pix? I don't watch a lot of Empire, so I don't really know. I watch Pixverse, of course. More D&D. Yeah, that's a good way to say it, Dan. Yeah, that's a good, excellent idea. It's like when I RP in a tabletop game like D&D, I think about myself controlling a character, not that I am the character, if that makes sense. I think I talked about that last time we were streaming. 64 sticks. I'm also going to need to drop off some of this. And well, we have enough birch for days. Don't know why we'd ever need cow print in any of our builds, but we now have lots of it should we need it. Good for stripped birch, I guess. Glass bottles. Do I not just have any lying around? I guess I don't. Could have sworn I had a stack just kicking around. Maybe they are in the keep. I should just come over here with the data pack and fix some of this stuff. Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, maybe they're in... They might be in the honey shulker box, maybe. I'm going to make this a little bit more intentional. We can put some of these down. Let's just use bone block for now. Right. I think that's everybody out. They still don't stack. It's really annoying. So how are you supposed to collect these with no bees in them? Try F3. What stat would be changing? Honey level, bee nest. I don't see honey level 4, honey level 0, honey level 0, 3, honey level 5. I don't need the honey. But there's nothing. I've got no idea. So now a couple of them are stacking, but that's it. Whatever. I'll just, if I get bees hanging out in the roof, I guess I'll just leash them, put them on leads and bring them out here. They should be happy out here. Nightbot is talking in the chat about the Lego Let's Chat that we did the other day, and I had a great time hanging out with everybody yesterday. Worked on the 3rd and 4th bags of the time machine from Back to the Future. It was very cool. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I want to say. Yeah, there's 3 there. 5 is 8. Do I have any? 9. I think that's enough to test it. So we'll get a good chunk of it in here. No. Obviously, there's still bees in them. But you can't pick block them, which is weird. I didn't have any empty bottles in there either. Right. What other blocks do we need? Haven't been able to catch those, unfortunately. Hope you'll be able to watch a Lego stream. The VODs are up on YouTube. The first VOD from last week is up, and the second VOD will be going up on Monday morning. Same levels of honey. Yeah, that's probably it too. So we're going jungle planks, and then jungle signs over packed mud. So jungle signs, jungle planks. And packed mud. Do I want to bring mushroom maybe? And what was the other block? Brown wool. And spruce signs. I need to move these shulker boxes so there's not these like crevices in the middle of them. Beehives have 5 different levels of honey, so if they don't stack, the honey levels are likely what's different. Yeah, but there's obviously bees in there too, because you can hear them buzzing. I just wish there was a way to get the bees out. I guess I could put a flower on a dirt patch nearby or something like that. Yeah, like if I wanted to get these guys out of here, what's the solution? Is it like something goofy like this? I'm gonna try and work in a little bit of mushroom block just to see if that looks okay. That might actually look even better. So that was all concrete, so we're gonna put in the wool here. Make sure we do this first. be one weird looking attic. Oh, I forgot to bring those signs. And then this is concrete powder. I know everybody talks about the sound of mud bricks, but I think they nailed the sound of packed mud. Yeah, I think it all sounds good. It all sounds good. Oh, that's not the way I wanted to go. Should be able to get up over this. Now here, I think I would be more inclined to do a slab, which I didn't bring. Of course I didn't bring it. The bees in that hive are not coming out. I wonder if it's because we've covered up all the exits. There's no way to tell which one it's coming from. Oh, it was that one. Now, unfortunately, all of these guys are going to get back into the hives. So if I quickly grab you. Nope, you did it. Of course you did. I'm your friend. This isn't a trap. Well, he's just off on his own now. I'll get him later. It's the ones living in the actual roof I want to move. Wonky dude, yeah. I just clued in when I realized that, of course, I'd blocked the entrance, which makes sense because then you can anticipate which way they're going to come out, right? If you created a farm, you'd have all the fronts inside the farm, and that way they wouldn't just exit through the back of the hive or the nest. They'll have bees living in West Hill, yeah. Yeah. Well, there's flower pots. Like he obviously sees the flower on the flower pot, maybe? Maybe not. I think they went into a different hive, yeah. I think there was only 3, right? They have a really nice soft buzz when they're on leads and they're being friendly with you. It's almost like a whisper. Where did he go? There he is. Ah. All right. Now let's see if we can navigate our way. I'm just going to take them out front. You're stuck. You can fly. You know this, right? No. Okay, we'll stick to the main roads. Alleys were a bad idea. I feel like I'm flying kites. So this should get these guys outside. You know that you have been very familiar with an area when you can walk through it backwards and really only bump into a couple of walls. Now, how do I release you guys? Do I just right click? Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. Be free. Oh, I'm still holding a flower. Well, that worked. That was easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be a real pain to try and empty out the bees' nests. This was a good idea, though. The flower runway. That worked out well. Still have a bee in here somewhere, though. I never thought about staggering them. That could work too. I quite like that, you know? And then this was supposed to be composters or dark oak? I'll have to go get some composters and see which looks better. Farquad, hello, welcome in. Mr. Gort, good to see you. Always a pleasure to have you stop by. So the only thing with the composters is that I'd have to figure out what to put on top of them to cover up the hole. So I had dark oak at this level. Composter's there. I think the composter would be better maybe at this level. But then with the sign there, we can't put anything on them to cover them up. That was the edge of the roof, apparently. Is there anything that's close to a composter that I could use? I mean, here we could kind of put spruce on top of them, right? But I feel like that's, the gradient goes the other way. Like it gets lighter down here. I don't think I like that. So I got to find something that will go between wool and dark oak. I wonder if maybe there's a terracotta that might fit. That might work. Brown concrete is probably too bright. Still not the best. Unfortunately, I think the composter is probably the better between the two, but it leaves the top of it exposed. I kind of wish that wasn't a thing. Or I wish that these were directional so that you could place them upside down. That would be cool. Break time when you're ready. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that. All right. I'm going to go take that break. For those of you that are new, I take a break once an hour. Time to reheat the coffee. I'm going to make some more, actually. In the meantime, if anyone has any ideas on what is a good block that goes between wool and dark oak, let me know, because we might even be able to get away with spruce wood as well. This could work. That might be the best one. But if you have any ideas, save them for when I'm back from the break. And I'll be 5 or 6 minutes, but grab yourself a drink, grab a friend. We'll be right back. All right, let's just go see. I think the spruce wood might work because it's directional. We can put that pointing in the right way. Might be the right one. We tried brown terracotta. And it doesn't quite go. I wonder if this actually goes better the other way around. Right? Like if that reads darker. Not really. Oh, that goes back lighter. I wonder if composters are actually... Maybe composters read lighter than wool. And they sort of do, don't they? So maybe we've got the wool in the wrong spot. Yeah. Let's maybe replace the wool, which is of course going to break all of our... It's going to break all of our concrete blocks, but that's fine. There is a hole in the roof right there, in case anybody was wondering. Just FYI. I'm going to make use of it. Yeah, so let's try these. So they're... Oh, come on. Trying to do a job here. Live on the interwebs. I'm pressing shift, it's just not working because these are all stairs and slabs. What did I say I wanted to do? I wanted to do composter then wool. Oh, I took out the concrete powder entirely in that. So if we did composter then wool, composters are going to look like a darker version of the bees' nests. So maybe we just don't do the concrete powder at all. Which I'm fine with, because that gives me more flexibility, because it's not a gravity block. But we still run into the same problem of these not having a top on them. Wait a minute, what if we did composters under the... Yeah, so do composters here, and then concrete powder. And then we'll... No, that feels like a back and forth, doesn't it? Aldebar, hello. Thanks for the shout out for Aldebar, Dan. Hope you're having a good day. I like that there. So we've got 2 blocks, and I think those 2 blocks should be this and that. The problem is that we don't have a way to cover up the top of the composter. So we could go back to composter and, or not composter, that's just a little bit steep. But we do have spruce signs. If I remove those and I put composters here and then trapdoors, it sort of works. This helps that it's got dark streaks inside of it. Oh, thanks, Aldebar. I'm glad that you like that you like hanging out here, and thank you, Dan, as well. So the composter there is not like offensive. It's not my favorite. We could also come back through and mix some of these up too. This is me just kind of wanting to get the gist of it down. Right, we can't have that. All right, let's back up a second. That transition does feel a little bit dark, probably because of the spruce. The spruce kind of takes it too light, turns the wool lighter than I want it to be. I'm okay with that, I think. I think what needs to happen here is that we need to pop down a little bit of concrete, but that just means we're going to have to be careful with what's underneath the wool. We can do that. I do like the contrast of that, like with the spruce gable or spruce dormer, and then the spruce bark behind it. Like that's a nice dark contrast. Can we go? We went from I put the composters where the wool is. That doesn't work. Or does it? Gonna save myself a bit of a headache later on. So yeah, the idea of a carpet and trapdoor on top of the composter works. However, we're using signs and they take up the same space. So like, I mean, I'm making my own problem. I understand that. I wanted to put these here. You know, I think this kind of works. Item frames, but item frames are the wrong color. So item frames are far too light for what we're doing. Would work if I had a custom item frame texture, maybe. Wonky dude, thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Gets us down to this dark part here that I like. But then what do we do for the lower parts? Armor stand with a leather cap inside the composter, that's just too many entities. Not practical. Guess we would remove this stuff here. Oh, there's a pane there. I know that. I don't have enough bees nests to finish the whole roof, but we can do the bottom layers. Oh, I don't have enough signs. Going through a lot of rockets today. And this is all just regular planks. And then we're down to how many bees can we, bees nests, I guess, can we generate? Feels very strange. It looks very bright in the rain. Oh, there's my glass bottles. Oh, it looked right at them. Unfortunately, we gotta wait for all this rain to stop before we can really make any progress. Yeah, I wish there was just more options for things that are already in the game. You know, like the fact that we can directionally place barrels, but we can't directionally place all of the profession blocks. We've talked about this before on the spawn chunks, in that, you know, there's some sort of puzzle solving and gameplay element to it, but ultimately, like, I don't really feel like the people that I talk to are really like, oh yeah, I'm really missing out on, you know, if they made them directional, I could place them wherever I want, then I'm really missing out on gameplay. Most people are just like, I'm just annoyed that I can't place them the same way that I can place other blocks. Clean up a little bit here while we're waiting for the rain to stop. Actually, I need food and rockets. Oh. We need to make more rockets. Maybe we'll do that while we're waiting for the rain to stop. Or maybe we won't. We've got enough paper, but we are low on the gunpowder. I guess... yeah, we'd have to go back to Dartmouth Meadows to get some. That's fine. The fact that sunflowers only face west is aggravating. Yeah, there's a data pack that you can download from Vanilla Tweaks that does two things. You can get a texture pack that changes the size of sunflowers, and then there is a data pack that allows sunflowers to be placed however you're facing. Yes, I'm basically going to wait until it stops raining. Because I can't see what I'm doing with the gradient in the gray rain. I need to pour my coffee anyway. Is there anything else we can put away? I need the wool. I don't need the tools. See, it's a thunderstorm, but it hasn't made any thunder. It's so tricky. So up close, those beehives do feel really bright. And I don't mind offsetting. Oh, you can't even see the signs. There we go. Don't mind offsetting the texture on the mushroom and the mud brick or the packed mud, but I don't think it works intermixing the this is really distracting to me. So I'm wondering which is better on that middle row. If which is like is wool the preferred block, or is concrete powder? So let's just cut it in half. I think I like concrete powder better. I'm wondering if on the concrete powder, if we switch the color of the sign so it's not more jungle plank. If we did spruce. Because dark oak is going to be too dark. Yeah, the jungle like repeats itself. I know what you mean. Kind of want to see what I think jungle wood, strip jungle wood gets too light, I think. I'll try some. I'm wondering if also some jungle bark, like some jungle logs. Nope. Ah, it's really ugly. Anybody know of something that might smooth out jungle wood a little bit? Could do that. Nope. Yeah, jungle's got far too much green in it. I agree. What does the brown wool look like with spruce signs? No, we already tried the brown terracotta. I can try it again, but it's too dark. Or did you mean with the jungle planks? You mean up there? What I might do at the top of the jungle planks is just throw in the odd sign. Yeah, that breaks it up a little bit. But I think I prefer the concrete powder, so we're going to just get rid of all this. Sorry for all the flashing with the interface. I kind of want to break up the signs a little bit here too. Maybe not there. Starts to work a little bit more the gradient. I'm okay with that. I think maybe we have to make sure we cover up these with signs though. I'm kind of randomly punching holes in things and seeing what they look like. No, I think for the bottom we just kind of stick with what we got going on. It feels strange to have two of the same block at the bottom. I guess we could try to go with something darker here. Maybe that's where the terracotta comes in, because this is not darker really. Which sign is perfect? The jungle sign? Terracotta. The only problem with the terracotta is that it doesn't have any kind of directional texture. Which helps with like both of these. And that's not darker, that's just different. What is darker than spruce wood? Is black terracotta even black? It's kind of like a deep... It's a different color though. Maybe dark oak with the bark on? Nope. Magenta glazed terracotta. A no. That's a no. So even black terracotta isn't dark enough. Maybe too purple. Yeah. Well, we could go with the dark oak planks. That might be dark enough. Oh, that's the wrong block. Maybe we have to switch these up. I think I like that better, actually. Okay. I think we're pretty solid. I still have all that contrast that I was looking for, which is good. I like that. And guess we do have the room here to add in maybe one of these. Nope. Never mind. Who actually uses that apart from maybe a redstone thing? I think, yeah, Pixelriffs is using it in his latest video. But it's specifically for like a instructional, like place your block here and it will be aged in the Copperfield aging thing. That is... This is all technically roof, so... Do we do that? Or probably more fun to come down with some dark oak and then put this stuff down lower. Yeah, the David Mark V looks like a Hermitcraft thing. Yeah. Yep, I would say so. I just watched that episode today, actually. Yeah, I think that works. And maybe for a little bit of variation, we can add in just a little bit. Actually, I'll put that over here. Maybe it got a little bit faded in the sun or something. Then we can apply that to the other side over here. And then drop that down. That stays like that, I think. Yep. And then that, I guess, would technically be a little bit different. I like how dark this is getting as it gets closer to the ground. I think that'll help us with contrast and having the shapes read. Not a huge fan of that corner, but don't know what else we could really do. There are definitely times when I envy the people that have committed to playing with like connected texture packs where like 2 blocks next to each other will overlap. Definitely makes your life a little bit easier. All right. Well, I guess now we're just waiting for the bees. And I also have to figure out which of these guys has got a bee in it. Should do this when I have a lead in my hand, though. I didn't need ankles. not hearing them anymore. Oh. It's also the wrong time of day. There we go. I not care about that. Whoa. Can you sleep with leads in your hand? You probably can't. Kay the River Cat, hello. How's it going? That's right, I think we can get outside before things get too crazy. Can we be shortcutty and maneuver down here? Are you guys gonna play nice? I sort of want to employ a texture pack that makes bees glow. I think it'd be very funny to have like a glowing bee at night. Hopefully there's enough hives out here for these guys. Oh, I'm still holding the flower. Doop. Sleep. Flying globies? Yeah. Fireflies. Especially if you could like retexture them and have their butt look like a giant light bulb. Like a Disney firefly. I think that'd be pretty funny. So it looks a little bit strange underneath here. We might have to cover this up. That would be easily done. Just that's a problem. And actually, why is that different? Oh, you know what? We can just not have that little bit there. Is that higher or lower? What did I do wrong there? That is different on one side than the other. Yeah, there is something asymmetrical about that. So 1, 2. So why on earth does this work on the other side? Oh, because that goes up. Hold on. Yeah. I need to get rid of this. That goes slab and then upside down stair. Okay, that's the same. Now it's Humo. Hello, how's it going? We're intensely trying to sort out this roof. Oh, the slab goes there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So then that, how did we handle the other part then? And it goes up into the roof. Okay. There's a, right. So we'll do that over here. Actually, probably just go with slab. And if memory serves, this is, yeah, that's the staircase. It's a funky part of the roof, that's for sure. I kind of want to push this in a little bit farther. Can I get away with this here? Probably yes. Also, need some buttons in here. Cool. All right, so then we have this little section here, and then the breaks out into this section. And we can kind of, without having to use beehives, we can do the same sort of things that we're doing over here. I think with, how many blocks do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break time. Thanks very much, Dan. That flew by. Wow. Okay, I'm getting really sick of the lack of jumping ability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would start with, I kind of want to start with composters and see if we can't use that. As like the highlight. I'm trying to destroy as little of this tree as I can so we can use it later. And what did I move into? Dark oak. I didn't realize that was going to be such a good transition. I guess we just do 2 rows or 3 rows of that. That's a lot. DeLorean's coming along pretty well. We did bags 3 and 4 yesterday. So that feels very samey. I'd like to try and do more with that. Could do dark oak signs maybe. Very not sure. Okay. Break time. All right. I'm going to take that break. Thanks again for the reminder, Dan. If you are new to the channel, I do this once an hour. You should too. Grab a friend, grab a snack. We'll be right back. All right, let's see if we can figure out a way to make the dark side over there look a little bit better. Because we're going to see it from two sides, right? And signs. Oh. Right. So this might be far too small of a place to have a fireplace. We might have to change our ideas here. And then maybe we can put in a little bit of dark oak here and there. And I was wondering if dark oak signs would help transition there. Sort of. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, that's tough. That kind of works. I am really just shooting from the hip right now. Don't have any grand master plans. That's an interesting idea. What if we started that lower? We might be able to get rid of the dark oak. This works out. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what we're going to do. It's a little different. So I can get rid of this. I wonder if I could get away with this being stairs from the inside. I might be able to swing that. Because that would just open up the room quite a bit. Still feels a little bit funny. Guess this would technically be... That might be wrong. Might be wrong, but... Yeah, that does feel kind of strange. That feels okay. That connection is a little bit weird. That looks alright though. That is not the way downstairs. The hallway downstairs is not very clearly marked. I'm going to have to do something about that. I hope they changed the stack size? Or signs? Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. That was a big thing that they did in Satisfactory that really helped people out. I just remember that I could do signs here too. Whoops. I was looking for stairs. But yeah, in Satisfactory that was a huge shift. Alright, this still feels a little bit cramped, but it's better than it was before. And I guess technically that's supposed to be a dark oak. I feel like we can probably just do that. Do I want to leave that? I'm not worried about light. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so we have the inside of this bedroom to do. I need somehow to... Maybe if I put a railing here, I'll spot it easier. Yeah. I don't think you're going to get an increase in base stacks. I think you're not going to see stacks in triple digits. I think it's possible that they could change things that don't stack to 64. They could increase those. I can understand on some level not wanting to do it with potions. Because you've got like PvP stuff, but I always forget about that because I don't enjoy PvP in Minecraft at all, so I'm not familiar enough with Terraria to know. Because, I mean, at some point you're just going to feel like you're playing in creative mode, right? Oh, we also have to... I forgot about the composters looking like that on top. Crap. Maybe we just suck it up and do a dark oak roof here. Like maybe this just goes straight to stairs. Well, really, we could fill this in. And then do the same sort of thing. The only thing is that this looks kind of silly. And I don't think I can get rid of that unless we've got it covered on the other side, which we might do. Yeah. And we got 3 slabs, and then it's dark oak. Right, that's how that worked. Yep, and then signs on top of that. Well, that worked out quite nicely. Just a little bit different, like it's not just a standard dark oak roof. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, just a little bit of form to it so it's not so boring. Now the challenge is we have to get... Sometimes I wish we could stand on signs. Oops. There is supposed to be stair here. Now, this does look kind of funny. And the only thing I can think of to change it would be to add spruce on top of it. Which is fine, it blends in. No! too easy to break. It feels a little bit cobbled together, like it's not feeling as fancy as I want it to feel. Let's just drop down. We'll walk around, see what it looks like. Oh, we've had that discussion on the Spawn Chunks before where people think everything that's new is too modded. There's a lot of people that are just stuck in their ways in Minecraft. I think the problem is that there's a lot of times that people make suggestions in Minecraft and they don't take the time to think about how the game is designed, what are the principles behind it. They just want stuff in it that makes their life easier. And they think, oh, that's a good game feature. No, it's not. Yeah, the breaking up of the signs is feeling a little bit deliberate. I don't mind that, though. I think we might have to put a full row of signs across there. I probably could have just glided over. Oh, look. Can make that jump too. Yeah, that's better. I'm wondering if this dormer would look a little bit better with stairs on the sides of it. Just obviously we have to get some more calcite. Yeah, I tried the different color signs, but they're next to each other. They don't work out very well. Oh, that doesn't quite work, does it? At least not with the stair there in the middle. All right, let's pop upstairs here and see if there's anything we can fix. I feel like this is probably going to stay, so we should probably just complete this. Unless, of course, I just want to make a solid block. If I do a solid block, then we'll have a small attic space, but it'll be... because we'd be standing at this level, but we would have all kinds of texture options for the ceiling. I mean, chances are we would just do dark oak. Probably strip dark oak, just so it's not too dark. You enjoying the Govey night lights, Joel? Yeah, I love them. No, it's a little frustrating that they don't make them for slightly smaller TVs, but at the same time, it's probably like a cost per. And the effect I don't think would be as nice on a smaller TV. I've got a 55-inch, so. Oh, does that show through? That shows through. We may have to change our plan. It does. Okay. So it looks like we might just have to do dark oak. Or we could have like patches. Actually, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Honestly, two best times are either Boxing Week or Black Friday. I didn't end up getting mine on sale, I don't think. Or if it was on sale, it was on for just like $100 off. It wasn't a big sale. But I also didn't find it overly expensive. I bought a TCL. It's not the best. It's not the best that was out there, but like I didn't want to spend. I've gotten to a point now where I feel like there are certain things that I just won't spend money on. Like I'm not spending $5,000 on a television. I'm just not. You know, when you can get almost the same performance out of something that costs $1,000. Like why? I think my TCL. And the thing is, like the TCLs now, I've had it for 2 years. The TCLs now that you can get for $1,100, which is what I paid for mine, are better. Like they're much better. What's the name of the YouTube channel? I want to say it's Digital Trends. Give me 1 second. Because I really enjoy their content. And if you are looking for a new TV, they will absolutely give you the goods on what to buy. Survey says, yeah, that's them. Hold on, I'll throw this in the chat. If you're looking for a new TV, new soundbar, new laptop, new monitor, they don't do a lot of gaming stuff. They mostly focus on like home entertainment, like television and consoles and stuff. They'll go over they go over your Xbox and like what are your best settings for your TV. There's all kinds of good stuff like that. But you should totally check them out if you are in the market for a TV, by all means. Right, so this would be the attic space. We will leave a torch up here. I think that works out rather well. Looks good in there, and just have to finish it off in here. Now, I think the plan was to... Oh, that's calcite. And... Alright, that has to stay. Like that then. A little weird. I guess we could make this a closet, couldn't we? Or some sort of nook. I'll leave that open for now. I think that's outside. A little nook there too. Feel like we could have like a maybe like a little desk or something there. Although a chair here would be a kind of a pain. When I first walked in. Probably a chest. Careless, good to see you. I'm indeed well. It's the weekend of putting up the Christmas tree, so that's always fun. Yeah, okay. So I guess we just copy, if we're happy with the roof. It might be one of those things where I just have to move on. I don't remember if I planted more trees. No, I didn't. Okay. Is this guy just stuck up there? I got nowhere to go? Do they get angry at you if you harvest honey without campfires underneath the beehives? Out of curiosity. I need flowers. They do, okay. And concrete powder. jungle signs. And now I need birch. I'm not going to bone meal more, but I just thought it might be good to just have a bunch of trees out here. We'll just roll the dice. So while we're building the rest of the town, if we get more bees nests, great. Do they have to be one block apart? I thought it was within 9 blocks. All right, that'll do it. That's what I thought too, Galaxy Boy. I thought it was both, but I mean, whatever. It takes seconds to fix it. And I'm not surprised that the information on it is inconsistent. Okay, so let's throw in some beds. We were working on trying to do a different color. Gray bed might look okay. I wonder if, blue bed might be okay too. And grab some tables and chairs. And we may need candles. Don't remember what color candles we were working with. Need more brown dye. Would still like tables and chairs on bedrock? Yeah. I mean, you can always reach out to Chuck and see what they say. So we've got brown candles in the windows there, and we've got nothing in here. I feel like this should probably have a double bed. I feel like probably we might be able to sneak in a double bed over there. But I feel the red's okay. Quite like the turquoise. Cyan. You know, I think I like that better. And is that hidden? So that's the wrong space. If they were sharing it, I was going to try to make like a headboard or something, but you need deeper walls to do fancy stuff like that. Or maybe this is a situation where an item frame might work. That feels a little bit too on the nose. So I think like a chest maybe next to the bed. Maybe bookshelves. Don't think that'll work. I need to do the whole like go through and revitalize my inventory with like chests and all kinds of stuff. I seem to be running low on everything. And then just like a tripwire hook by the door. Actually, maybe we'll move that down a little bit so it's not quite in your face. Still feels really empty. What if, instead of there, I had the bed up against the wall? That's a little bit better. Not sure what we could do with this space. That's probably a spawnable space. Yeah, Galaxy Boy, I don't use the paintings. We've been over this. And I think suggesting that I should and that it should be the issue that would solve the problem is not going to get you anywhere with the argument. All right, trapdoors, doors. Linus Lego Plays, hello. Hope you're having a good day. Does it go that way or does it go the other way? Probably the other way. was thinking maybe shelves here. A little cozier. And we could put like linens and stuff like that up there. The birch trapdoor. Now in here, I think the plan here was to have like a large trunk, and maybe we can get away with the lighter chest. And then I think this was supposed to be a bookshelf. An odd thing to have there. However, yeah, that doesn't feel quite right. I like the idea of having another chair in here too. That, well, I guess we could put it in the corner as well. I think that looks a little bit better there. Sleep so we can see what we're doing. Putting that railing there really makes it a lot easier to see the stairs. Yeah, Dan, if I had a custom texture pack that changed all the paintings into useful things, then yeah. I've got a custom texture pack for the paintings for the modern city. I've got some of my my friend Brittany, I've got some of her art there, which works out great. Don't know what that's supposed to be, I guess. Calcite? What did I do with the calcite? Did I put it back? I guess I did. Maybe we'll put a table out here too. And then that leaves this space and a couple of other things here for maybe a plant or something. Maybe we'll put a bush down or something. Could do a composter with a planter in it, maybe. Unfortunately, with Minecraft, it feels too cramped. But I can't think of a better way to do the bed. You wouldn't want to put it there because you'd be tripping over it. I think that works. So yeah, that corner is definitely missing something. I don't think I'd want a chair there. Like I'd move that one. Feel like I like the chair next to the window. So we just have to figure out what goes there. And how does it go there? Could also try something like one of those standing wardrobes. But then that's the problem here. That's not bad. I could move the door. Actually, probably try to... not meant to be opened, I guess, is the best way to, to handle that. And what was the material that was the bottom here? It's the spruce. And then it's dark oak. Just to kind of get these first two layers in. I think I decided I wanted to keep the way that those dormers looked. Yeah, I think they look okay. Thank you very much, Dan. I do indeed need to wrap things up. Any suggestions for a raid? I normally have someone like Slice Lime, or very often I haven't seen Drathmore online in a long time. Scar's live? Cool. Yeah, we can pass everybody on to Scar. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Oh, is Elkhorn live? Yeah, we can pass everybody on to Elkhorn. I don't see. Oh, I see. They were outside of my list. All right. That is a good idea, especially because Elkhorn is very likely playing on Infinity Cove, doing some Christmassy stuff, and I think that's a good idea. So we will continue tomorrow at 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC -4 with the interiors. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to spend like a lot of time in here. I just want to get them to like this level, sort of deal with a little bit of detail. We'll also work on the space in here. Very likely there's going to be a bed kind of like in that position. We did a lot of work on the roof today. This kind of stuff is always painstaking. I'm pretty happy with it. I can't say that I'm over the moon about it, but I think it was an important thing to try, and I'm going to sit with it for a little while and see if it's something that we like. Obviously, it looks better when you're close enough to see the signs, but I like the dark part of it a lot more than I like the top part of it, but that's fine. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Joel Duggan. You can also follow the podcasts that I do. That is at thesponchunks.com and the citadelcafe.com. Does look nice from that angle though. And you can also tune into live shows on those podcasts, or at least on the first one on Spawn Chunks. That's on Mondays. But I'll be back tomorrow to talk more Minecraft and play more Minecraft. So yeah, going to pass you on to my buddy Elcor95 playing on my Patreon server. And that's at patreon.com/JoelDuggan. If you like this kind of stuff and you want to play with a bunch of friends that have the same sort of mindset, then check it out. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.